So our progress report says we are at stage 10, paragraph page 849. Last
Mm-hmm.
headword was sharp, newer type of lesson. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
Ready? Mm.
If we want to recycle our rubbish, do we have to sort it into different types? If we want to recycle our rubbish, do we have to sort it into different types? Yes. If we
Yes.
want to
If we want
recycle
to
our
recycle
rubbish,
our
we
rubbish,
have to sort it
we have to
into
sort it into
different types.
different types.
Are you good at sorting out other people's problems for them? Are you good at sorting out other people's problem for them? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm good at
I'm good
sorting
at
out other
sorting out
people's
other
problems
people's
for them.
problems for them.
Very good. How can we tell if a wall is hollow or solid? How can we tell if a wall is hollow or solid? We can tell
We can
if a
tell
wall is
if a
hollow
wall
or
is a
solid
hollow or
by
solid
tapping it
by
with
tapping
our
it
finger.
with our finger.
And what sort of sound do we get when we tap a hollow wall? And what sort of sound do we get if we tap a hollow wall? We get a
We
hollow
get
sound
a hollow
when
sound
we tap
when we
a
tap
hollow wall.
a hollow wall.
Very good. What do we get when water changes from a liquid state to a solid state? What do we get when water changes from a liquid state to a solid state? We get
We
ice.
get
When
ice
water
when
changes
water changes
from a liquid state
from a liquid state
to a solid state.
to a solid state.
Right. Could a table that's not solidly built fall to pieces? Could a table that's not solidly built fall to pieces? Yes. A
Yes,
table
a
that's
table
not solidly
that's not
built
solid to be built
could fall to
good
pieces.
for the pieces.
Very good. If you went to the cinema and bought a ticket, some popcorn and a drink, how much would you expect to pay for the lot? If you went to the cinema and bought a ticket, some popcorn and a drink, how much would you expect to pay for the lot? If I
Mhm.
went to the
If I went
cinema
to the
and
cinema
bought a ticket,
and bought a
some
ticket,
popcorn, and a
some
drink,
popcorn and a
I'd
drink,
expect to
I'd
pay
expect to pay about 2,000 yen
for the lot.
for the lot.
For the lot.
For the lot.
Very good. What's one meaning of the verb to represent? What's one meaning of the verb to represent? One meaning of
One
the
meaning
verb to
of the
represent
verb to represent
is to symbolize.
is to symbolize.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Love is
Love
often
is
represented
often represented
in pictures
in
by a
pictures
red heart.
by a red heart.
What's another meaning of the verb to represent? What's another meaning of the verb to represent? Another meaning
Another
of the
meaning
verb to
of the verb
represent
to represent
is to act
is to
in
act
the place of.
in the place of.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. David was chosen
David was
to
chosen
represent the
to
workers
represent the workers
at the management
at the
meeting.
management meeting.
What's the name of the representative for your town in the government of your country? What's the name of the representative for your town in the government of your country? The name of the
The name of
representative
the representative
for my town
for my
in the
town
government
in
of
the
my
government
country
of
is.
my country is Mrs. Yamada.
Very good. What do we mean if we say that someone is filled with shame? What do we mean if we say that someone is filled with shame? If we say
If
that
you say
someone is
that
filled
someone
with
is
shame,
filled with
we mean
change,
that
we
they
mean
are
that
filled
they
with
are
a
filled
strong
with
feeling
a
of
strong feeling
embarrassment
or embarrassment
and regret
and
for what
regret
they have
for
done.
what they have done.
How do people behave when they feel ashamed of what they've done? How do people behave when they feel ashamed of what they've done? When people feel
When
ashamed
people feel ashamed
of what they've done,
what
they
they've done,
they avoid eye
they
contact,
avoid eye contact,
become red in the face,
become in the face,
become red in the
become
face,
red, become red in the face,
say they're sorry,
say they're
etc.
sorry, etc.
Very good. What would I mean if I said it was a shame you couldn't come to the party last weekend? What would I mean if I say it was a shame you couldn't come to the party last weekend? If you said
If you said
it was a shame
it was a
you
shame
couldn't come
you
to
couldn't
the
come
party last
to the
weekend,
party last weekend,
you'd mean it
you'd
was a
mean
pity
it was a
I
pity
couldn't come
I
to the
couldn't come
party last
to the
weekend.
party last weekend.
Very good. What do we exclaim when we think someone's talking nonsense? What do we exclaim when we think someone's talking nonsense? When we think
Where we think
someone's talking
someone to
nonsense,
talking nonsense,
we can
we
exclaim
can exclaim
nonsense,
nonsense,
rubbish,
rubbish,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Okay, next. If you were stuck in a very bad traffic jam, would you turn your car engine off to save petrol? If you were stuck in a very bad traffic jam, would you turn your car engine off to save petrol? Yes or no?
Mhm. No,
If
if
I
I
were
were
stuck
stuck
in a very bad
in a very
traffic
bad
jam,
traffic
I
jam,
wouldn't turn
I wouldn't
my
turn
car engine
my
off
car engine off
to save petrol.
to save petrol.
Very good. Okay, next. Is the rank of admiral one of the highest ranks in the Navy? Is the rank of admiral one of the highest ranks in the Navy? Yes. The rank
Yes,
of
the
admiral
rank of
is
admiral
one of the
is
highest
one of
ranks
the highest ranks
in the Navy.
in the Navy.
Very good. Okay. Who does a man go to if he wants a suit made especially for him? Who does a man go to if he wants a suit made especially for him? A man
A
goes
man
to a tailor.
so to a tailor
Goes to a
goes
tailor
to a red tailor
if he wants
if
a
he
suit
wants a suit
made especially for
made
him.
especially for him.
And who does a woman go to if she wants clothes made especially for her? And who does a woman go to if she wants clothes made especially for her? A woman
A
goes
woman
to
goes
a
to a
dressmaker
dressmaker
or designer
or
if
designer
she wants
if
clothes
she wants to
made
clothes
especially for
made
her.
especially for her.
Very good. Name some internationally famous clothes designers. Name some
Mhm.
internationally famous clothes designers, please. The names of
The
some
names of some
internationally famous
internationally
clothes
famous
designers
clothes designers
are Chanel,
are Chanel and
Kenzo,
Prada,
Prada,
Kindle,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Okay, next. What do we mean by baggage? What do we mean by baggage? By baggage,
By
we mean
baggage, we
suitcases
mean
and
suitcases
other bags
and other
that
bags
we travel
that
with.
we travel with.
What's another word for baggage? What's another word for baggage? Another word for
Another
baggage
word for
is
baggage
luggage.
is luggage.
Very good. Tell me three common uses of the gerund. Tell me three common uses of the gerund, please. Three common
Three
uses
common
of the
uses
gerund
of the
are as
gerund
a subject
are as a
in a
subject
sentence,
in a sentence,
after a preposition,
after a preposition,
and after certain
and
verbs.
after certain verbs.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. Swimming can be fun.
Swimming can be fun.
I'm fed up with
I'm fed
listening
up
to
with
that
listening
song all
to that
day.
song all day.
He enjoys dancing.
He enjoys dancing.
Wait, do some people treat their pets like members of the family? Do some people treat their pets like members of the family? Yes, some
Yes,
people treat
some people
their
treat
pets
their
like
pets
members
like
of the
members
family.
of the family.
Do you know how to treat someone for shock or someone who's fainted? Do you know how to treat someone for shock or someone who's fainted? Yes or no?
No,
I don't know.
I don't
How
know
to treat
how
someone
to treat
for
someone
shock
or shock
or someone
or someone to
who's fainted.
who'd fainted.
Weged, what do you think's the best treatment for a common cold? What do you think's the best treatment for a common cold? I think the
I
best
think
treatment
the best
for a
treatment
common cold
for a common cold
is to
is
take medicine
to take medicine
and rest.
and rest.
Very good. Do you think it's better to give children a fixed weekly allowance or give them money little by little as they need it? Do you think it's better to give children a fixed weekly allowance or give them money little by little as they need it? I think it's better
I think it's
to give
better
children
to give children a
a
fixed
weekly allowance
weekly allowance,
than to give them money
than to give them
little
money
by little
little
as they
by
need it.
little as they need it.
Greg, when we decide how much time we need to travel from one place to another, should we always make allowances for the possibility of traffic jams or public transport problems? When we decide how much time we need to travel from one place to another, should we always make allowances for the possibility of traffic jams or public transport problems? Yes. When we
Yes,
decide
when we
how
decide
much time we
how much
need
time we
to
need
travel
to
from one
travel
place to another,
from one place to
we should
another,
always
we should
make
always
allowances
make
for the
allowances
possibility
for the
of
possibility
traffic jams
of traffic
or
jams
public
or
transport
public
problems.
transport problems.
Very good. Are you against people begging in the streets? Are you against people begging in the streets? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not against
I'm not
people
against
begging
people
in the street.
begging in the street.
On what kind of occasions do people beg for forgiveness? On what kind of occasions do people beg for forgiveness? The kind of
The kind
occasions
of
people
occasions
beg for
people
forgiveness
beg forgiveness
for forgiveness
for forgiveness
are when they have
are
done
when they have done
something seriously wrong.
something seriously wrong.
Seriously wrong.
Seriously wrong.
Okay, do you believe people should always be forgiven for the things they do wrong? Do you believe people should always be forgiven for the things they do wrong? Yes or no?
No,
I don't believe
I don't believe
people should
people
always
should always
be forgiven
be
for the
forgiven
things they do
for the
wrong.
same to wrong.
For the things
Serious for the things
they do wrong.
they do wrong.
Very good. When we have not quite heard what someone has just said, what do we say? When we have not quite heard what someone has just said, what do we say? When we have not
When we have done
quite heard
quite
what
heard
someone
what
has
someone
just said,
had just
we
said,
say, I beg your
we
pardon,
say I beg your pardon
or just pardon,
or just pardon
or sorry.
or sorry.
Very good. Okay, next. Tell me the name of some. Oh, let me just check. Okay, so next. Tell me the names of some common contagious diseases. Tell me the names of some common contagious diseases, please. Some common
Mhm. Some common
contagious diseases
contagious diseases
are
are influenza
uh,
and
COVID-19,
COVID-19,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Have you ever fired a real gun? Have you ever fired a real gun? Yes or no?
No,
I've never
I've
fired
never
a
fired
real gun.
a real gun.
Where do you think there is and always will be enough room in the world for everybody? Do you think there is and always will be enough room in the world for everybody? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I
there
don't
is
think
and
there is
always will
in the
be
always building
enough room.
enough
What?
room.
No, I don't
No,
think
I don't
there
think
is
there is
and always will
and
be
always will be
enough room in the
enough
world
room
for
in the world
everybody.
for everybody.
If not, what do you think is the best solution to the problem? If not, what do you think is the best solution to the problem? I think
Mhm. I
the best
think
solution
the best
to the
solution
problem
to the
is
problem is uh,
that
to control
birth.
population
Very good.
closely.
Very good. To control
Mm-hmm.
population closely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Name someone who you reckon probably owns a private jet. Name someone
Mm-hmm.
who you reckon probably owns a private jet. I reckon
Mm-hmm. I reckon the president of America
probably owns
probably
a
owns
private jet.
a private jet.
Wait, do you think a person needs a sharp mind to work as a detective? Do you think a person needs a sharp mind to work as a detective? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think a
I
person
think a
needs a
person
sharp mind
needs a sharp
to
mind
work as a
to
detective.
work as a detective.
What do we mean by a sharp pain? What do we mean by a sharp pain? By a sharp pain,
By a sharp
we
pain,
mean a
we
severe
mean
pain
a severe
that
pain
starts
that
suddenly.
starts suddenly.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
repeat. Process.
Process,
Raw.
raw.
We're going to kill listen. Process can be used as a noun or a verb. As a noun, it means the action that are done in order to end up at a particular result. For example,
Hmm.
the process of buying clothes online is to visit the online website, choose the clothes you
Hmm.
want to buy, type in your name and address you want the
Hmm.
clothes to be delivered, and your credit card number for payment.
Hmm.
It's easy and simple.
Hmm.
As a verb, process means to change something from one form into another.
Hmm.
For example, processed foods such as frozen vegetables, biscuits, etc. These foods are changed from its natural state in order to preserve it or make it safer to eat.
Hmm.
Raw is an adjective. By raw materials, we mean materials in their natural or unprocessed state.
Hmm.
Let's practice. Do you regard buying products online as a simple or complicated process? Do you
Mm-hmm.
regard buying products online as a simple or complicated process? I
Mm-hmm.
regard
I
buying
regard
products
buying
online
products online
as a
as
process.
a simple process.
Very good. What do we mean by raw materials? What do we mean by raw materials? By raw materials,
By raw
we
materials,
mean
we
materials
mean
in their
materials
natural
in the
or
natural
unprocessed
or
state.
unprocessed state.
Very good. Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Coal, wood,
Coal,
cotton,
wood, cotton,
etc. are
etc.
examples
For, for
are
example,
examples
are examples
of raw materials.
of raw material.
Very good. Do you ever eat raw meat or vegetables? Do you ever eat raw meats or vegetables? Yes or no?
Yes,
I sometimes eat
I sometimes
raw meat
eat
or
raw
vegetables.
meat or vegetables.
What do we mean by processed food? What do we mean by processed food? By processed food,
By processed
we
food,
mean food
we mean
that
food
has been
that
changed
has been
from
changed
its raw
from its raw
or natural state
or natural
in
state
order to
in
preserve it
order to service,
or make it safer to
make
eat.
it safer to eat.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Frozen vegetables
Frozen vegetables
and biscuits
and
are
biscuits
examples
are
of
example
processed food.
of processed food.
Very good. Next, repeat sample.
Sample.
Very good. Okay, listen. Sample is a noun. It is a small amount of a product that people can try to find out what it is like. For example, a sample of cake or a sample of shampoo.
Mhm.
Let's practice. Why might a baker offer a customer a free sample of a particular type of bread? Why might a baker offer a customer a free sample of a particular type of bread? A
Mhm.
baker might
A
offer
baker
a
might
customer
offer a
a free
customer
sample
a
of
free
a
sample
particular
of
type
a
of
particular type
bread to
of
let the
bread
customer
to
try
let
it
the customer try
before
it
deciding
before
to buy
deciding
a whole loaf.
to buy
A whole loaf.
whole loaf.
Yeah, like whole, the whole thing. To buy a whole
Oh,
loaf.
to buy a whole loaf.
Very good. Next, repeat. Undergraduate.
Undergraduate,
Graduate.
graduate.
Very good. Okay, listen. Undergraduate and graduate are both nouns. An
Mm-hmm.
undergraduate is a university student who has not finished their degree yet,
Mm-hmm.
whereas a graduate is someone who has finished a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's practice. What's an undergraduate? What's an undergraduate? An
Mm-hmm.
undergraduate
By
is
undergraduate
a university
is a
student
university
who has not
student
finished
who has
their
not
degree
finished
yet.
their degree yet.
Right, and what do we call somebody who has finished their degree successfully? And what do we call somebody who has finished their degree successfully? We call somebody
We call
who
somebody
has finished
who has
their
finished
degree
their
successfully.
degree
A
successfully
graduate.
a graduate.
Very good. Next, repeat. Vain.
Vain,
In vain.
in vain.
Very good. Okay, listen. Vain is an adjective. It
Mm-hmm.
means too proud of one's good looks, abilities, or rank. For example,
Mm-hmm.
Alice always takes picture of herself. She always talks
Mm-hmm.
about her new dress and her new makeup. She loves talking about her abilities and achievements. She's too
Mm-hmm.
proud of herself. She's the vainest person I know. The expression in vain means failing to get a good result.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I struggled in vain to learn the meaning of 10 words in a day. Or
Mm-hmm.
the doctor struggled in vain to save the man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's practice. Who is the vainest person you know? Who is the vainest person you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like Donald Trump
Donald
is
Trump
the vainest person
is a vainest
I
person.
know.
I know.
Very good. What does the expression in vain mean? What does the
The
expression in vain mean? The expression
the
in
expression
vain
in
means
vain means
failing to produce
failing to
a good
produce
result.
a good result.
Very good. Next, give me an example. Give me an example, please. The doctors
The
struggled
doctors
in vain
struggle in
to
vain
save the man.
to save the man
Very good. Next, repeat. As long as
as long as
or so long as.
or so long as.
Very good. Okay, listen. As long as or so long as is a conjunction. It is used to say that one thing can happen if another
Mhm.
thing happens. Okay, you can say so long as instead of as long as. For example, I'll
Mm.
lend you money as long as you'll pay me back as promised. Or
Mhm.
I'll lend you money so long as you'll pay me back as promised.
Mhm.
Let's practice. Is it good for the health to drink red wine as long as we don't drink too much? Is
Mhm.
it good for the health to drink red wine as long as we don't drink too much? Yes,
Mhm.
it's
Yes,
good for the
it's
health
good for the
to drink
health
red
to
wine
drink red
as long
wine
as we
as
don't
long as
drink too
we
much.
don't drink too much.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Okay, our reading is at stage 7, paragraph page 556. Okay,
Mhm.
the last headword was I think so, I hope not, pass. Okay,
Mhm.
start with the fourth question. One, two, three, four. When do we use the word so?
Oh, okay. When do we use the word so at the beginning of our sentence? We use the word so at the beginning of our sentence when we already know something that someone has just told us.
Very good.
Give me an example, please. Someone said to us, Mr. Jones has gone to Australia, and knowing this fact, we reply, so we've been told.
Hmm.
Short,
Oh, my.
short,
Shoot,
short.
shoot, shot, shot.
Ah, oh, excuse me. Shoot, short, shoot,
Shoot,
short,
shot.
shoot, short, short.
Very good.
What I'm doing, you are shooting at the window.
Uh-huh.
What are the three forms of shoot? The three forms of shoot are shoot, shot, shot. Have you ever seen anyone shot in real life? No, I've never seen anyone shot in real life. Senses, sight, hearing, taste, touch, smell, do without or go without. What are the five senses? The five senses are sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. If you had to do without one of these five senses, which do you choose? If I had to do without one of these five senses, I choose smell.
Hmm.
Because the other senses are more important.
Very good.
Tell me some of sites one might see if one went to Roma. Some of the sites one might see if one went to Roma
Rome
or
are
Rome
the
or
Colosseum,
the Colosseum
uh,
and
Saint Peter's Basilica,
St. Peter's Basilica.
the Church
Okay.
of the Rome, like where the Pope
Ah,
is.
church, church.
Okay,
Okay.
etc.
Uh, etc.
Very good.
Bright. Down. First thing, is it brighter in this room than outside? No, it isn't brighter in this room than outside. Do you prefer bright colors or dark colors? I prefer bright colors than dark colors. Are you one of the brightest pupils in your class at mathematics? Yes, I'm
I
one of
was, I
the
was, I
I
was
was
one
one
of
of
the
the
brightest
brightest
pupils.
pupils in my class at mathematics. Do you usually feel brighter in the evening than first thing in the morning? No, I don't usually feel brighter in the evening than first thing in the morning. I usually feel more tired. What do we mean by a dull person? By a dull person, we mean a boring person.
Very good. Okay, so we stop there for
Thank
today.